As I'm sure you probably know by now, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the fantastic character created over 2 decades ago by Timothy Zahn, will be returning to the canon in Star Wars Rebels Season 3. Now, I've already done a video covering Thrawn's Legends history, but I don't expect every little detail about the character will be retained. So in this video, I wanted to talk about the most important aspects of Thrawn that I think will remain in the canon, and what will be left to Legends. First, I want to mention that I have complete faith in the Rebels team that Thrawn will be handled in a respectful way. They brought in Timothy Zahn as a consultant to make sure he was satisfied with his character's representation, and the author confirmed that he's very happy with everything so far. And while I do think much of Thrawn's history might be left in Legends, we will be getting a new history in Timothy Zahn's new book, Thrawn, scheduled to be released in April of 2017. Next, for those of you unfamiliar with how the Grand Admiral was presented in Legends, let me give you a quick rundown. He was introduced in Heir to the Empire, which took place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. He was a master tactician that led a campaign against the New Republic that was very nearly successful. He was able to outwit his opponents due to having a deep understanding of their history, culture, and specifically art. He felt that studying a species' art would reveal the inner workings of their mind. In the end, he was betrayed and stabbed to death by his own bodyguard, whose species the Empire had kept under their thumb for years. I think the key pieces that will be kept for canon are his brilliant tactical mind and his interest in art. In fact, those have already been confirmed in the Season 3 trailer. And of course, his rank, species, and general appearance are all the same. I hope he remains as the only high-ranking alien Imperial. I always loved the fact that he was so impressive, even the alien-hating Empire had to admit his brilliance. I also think his leadership style will be kept. He was a much more forgiving commander and led those under his command because they had his respect, not because they feared him like they did Vader. But it's clear a lot is going to have to be adapted for Rebels. For example, he's already attained the rank of Grand Admiral 4 years before the Battle of Yavin. His rise to power in Legends involved a mission called the Outbound Flight, which was tenuously related to the Yuuzhan Vong, and they'll probably be abandoning all of that. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't learn his origin story until the book, but I think his history involving the Jedi Horus Sabaoth will be removed. It would probably make more sense to have his background tied with the Clone Wars in some way just to keep things simple. We've already seen one of Thrawn's favored tactics called the Margsable executed by Ahsoka in the Clone Wars. Could be she learned it from a certain Chiss commander. But it's still possible they could surprise us all and introduce the Chiss Expansionary Defense Force. In the books, Thrawn was often accompanied by Captain Pellaeon, who was basically the Dr. Watson to Thrawn's Sherlock Holmes. I don't see any reason he couldn't also be included in Thrawn's stories. In fact, I would be surprised if he weren't. And I would be even more surprised if he doesn't appear in Zahn's upcoming novel. However, I've often compared the current canon character of Rey Sloane to Captain Pellaeon. Perhaps Sloane could take the place of second in command. She's already been in books and comics, so why not television too? Or Governor Pryce could serve that role as well. I hope that they do stick with Pellaeon, but there do seem to be other options out there that could streamline things. I also think that the actions he takes against the Rebels are going to be far different from his campaign against the New Republic. Dave Filoni has already said we won't be seeing the Salamiri. I believe we'll be seeing a whole new Thrawn story that at best will echo what we saw in the books. His methods of analyzing and anticipating his enemies will be the same, but his actual attacks will be brand new. I'm currently trying to decide if I think Thrawn will survive past this season or not. My gut unfortunately tells me no, seeing as the Grand Inquisitor and the other Inquisitors didn't survive their respective seasons. I hope he survives, but if he does, there needs to be a reason for him to be absent from the rest of the canon. In Legends, he was out in the unknown regions until he learned of the Emperor's death and he returned. So it's possible he could travel there at the end of the season and then return after the Battle of Endor. But I think the story group will want to keep things a little more simple. I'm just preparing myself for the possibility that he will be killed off. But let's talk about how. Again, in the books he's assassinated, but the species of his assassin isn't canon right now. His assassination in the books preserved his abilities as a leader because he was betrayed rather than outwitted. I think it's possible under Zahn's guidance that we could see a similar fate for the canon Thrawn. Maybe a defecting Imperial. Perhaps Governor Price, since she's making her on-screen debut as well. My point is, I don't want to see Thrawn defeated by the main cast of characters. I would prefer they be on the ropes, possibly close to destruction, but then saved because of a traitor among the Empire. Sorry, but Thrawn being defeated by the Rebel Alliance in its current state would diminish the character we love from Legends. But with Zahn on board, I believe he will share our views, and if Thrawn is killed off in Rebels, it will be a satisfying death. In summary, I think this new version of Thrawn will have an altered backstory and new plotlines, but that the core of the character, his overall philosophy and leadership style, will remain the same, and I think that his eventual downfall will at least be similar to what we saw in the book, The Last Command. So, what do you guys think? Are you as excited for Thrawn's return as I am? What do you think the new canon will keep from Legends? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to learn a little more about him, here are some videos you can check out while we wait for Season 3. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to see new Star Wars videos every weekday. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.